coming from Tampa, Florida, or just east of Tampa, Florida, Valrico, Florida, to be specific, 2303 Travis Robert Avenue. Please welcome to the stage, Kitzi Taylor.
Hi, it's really great to be here. Can you hear me? I hate when people say that.
Yeah.
And Justin, was that who was just here?
Jared.
Jared. That was darling. Who is Jay-Z?
Mr. Beyonce.
Okay. That was my friend Barbie. Barbie and I came up here from her home in Annapolis for a week in New York. And she came here to see you guys and meet all of Sean's friends. And that's why we're here. We went to high school together. And our high school was called Wheaton High School. And the mascot, oh, that sounds better. The mascot was the Knight, the Wheaton Knights. So, because I'm single and looking, I'm always using the term, I'm looking for my knight in shining armor. And I had my knight briefly, which is why Sean is here. Then my knight became a page, and then whatever. So there's another story. I like when Sean was talking about how badly you feel when the person that you leave kind of hitches up with someone you feel is lesser of you. Okay, I won't say that. Okay, so I'm looking for my knight because I'm single and I'm getting on in years. I don't look it, but I am. And what happens is when you're older, you're looking for someone who you get attracted to. It's really hard to get attracted to somebody who's over 60. Because here's the thing, my estrogen is like running out, and their testosterone is over. So aren't those the things that make a relationship start up? You know, the ignition. So all that's missing, and then we're all like falling apart. So, and that's true. But I'm looking for this knight in shining armor, and I haven't found him, but I found 105 people that were not him. And we don't have time for the 105, but I'll tell about one or two. The one that I think of most is the one I thought would be the right guy. We had dated for like 5 weekends, which is a long time at this age. And I thought, and he said, I have a question, Kitzi, I have a question to ask you. And I'm like, uh-oh, you know, he's going to put the question to me, and I'm glad in a way, because this would be a commitment, and maybe it would work. And he sat me down and took my hands in his and said, have you ever wanted to be tied up? Now, I've forgotten about this, but recently I heard that he got married. So I guess he found someone that wanted to be tied up. But it's even worse than that, because he had this bizarre sexual proclivity, which I won't go into because Sean's here. I'll only say that it could take place at the same time when I was lying on the bed watching Boogie Nights on the TV. It happened all at the same time. So I'm thinking, you found someone that likes to be tied up and also likes to act. So that's what he found. It's like, okay, so that's why I'm single, because I can't go that route. No. When you get to be an older woman, such as myself, you have to go to the doctor and get these periodic checkups. And the first thing they ask you is, are you sexually active? So, and I'm like, well, I would be if I could find someone I wanted to be sexually active with. But so that would be my response. So I'm getting this examination that happens every year, and you're in what's called a lithotomy position. Are you familiar with that? It's the same thing when you almost have a baby. You know, you're kind of like, and that's a normal exam. And everyone who's female's had this, and I'm not trying to be off color here, But so, while it was happening, the doctor was down there, and right as soon as it happened, he goes, "Richard, come in here and look at this." And I'm like, "What?" He said, "Richard, you gotta come in here and look at this." And so in came Richard and a couple other people to look at me. And it said, "Gee," and the doctor said to me, "Are you all right with that?" And I said, "What? I didn't come in there for a complaint. It was my annual physical." He said, "Are you all right with that?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." So, you know, in any case, there's obviously something wrong with me. But I didn't notice it. I was happy with it. I was just having my annual exam. Later on, I thought about, well, I had this problem with gray hair. You know how your hair gets gray, and you color it, you put highlights, and you think you're getting older. But the worst thing about getting older is you're sitting in the bathtub, you're lying in the bathtub, and there's this glimmer of light shining from down there, and you're like, uh-oh, you get gray hair. And it's just you think you're old with gray hair up here. That's not old. Old is that. That's old. So you see these gray hairs and you're like, oh my God. And so you're immediately looking for like Lady Clairol, right? And so you look on the box that says, do not use anywhere, you know, on the eyebrows and any other part of the head. But I want to share with you something. You can use it other places. You just use the little touch-up brush. And then you feel better about yourself. And then you can move along with your life. And look for your knight in shining armor. And I will say to you that I've always said to my classmates who are from my class, you know, I'm still waiting for my knight to come, I'm waiting for a knight to come, and they say, Kitzi, we know your knight will come at night. And so now, now I always say, I'm looking for my knight to arrive. And that's what I'm looking for, and if any of you in here are appropriate age, maybe you are my knight. Thank you so much.
Kitzi Taylor!
Give it up for Kitzi Taylor! Appropriate age is over 21, so since we're in a bar, everybody should be appropriate.
Friend her on Facebook, because she's definitely on Facebook. I separately, if she weren't here, I'd mention that she comments on everything. But she's here, so I won't even mention it. I'll just say it's an amazing thing that when your parents are technologically advanced enough to get on Facebook and then be able to comment on everything. It's awesome.
It is very good.
Especially with their stand-up comics, too.
I like that Kitzi could comment on anything on Facebook, but because Sean is in the audience during her stand-up, sometimes there has to be a this or a that. We can get, like, I almost think that, like, my imagination is probably even worse than what probably is happening, but now I got this whole, like, list of funny things that I can have happening during, like, boogie nights, you know? It's like playing ping pong or, I don't know, something crazy.
I think that was because you could be facing the TV.
Yeah.
That was probably it.
Baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's...
But I didn't, actually, there was one I didn't get, and I'm okay not getting it, but it was the one where it was like you're in the hospital, and then and they look down there and say, hey, Richard, come in here. I don't know what Richard saw, but I'm okay not knowing what Richard saw.
I don't know, pick a episode of Grey's Anatomy, because that seems to happen every single show. Like, hey, check out what this is. Everybody come in here. I don't think that's how it works.